so that I will share this probably in the next week or so with everybody. But appreciate you guys jumping on this evening and being with us here. I am going to be sharing a screen here in a few minutes, but just if you have any questions, again, just type them up in the box and we'll go through the questions at the end of the presentation. I'm going to try not to keep you guys on here too long this evening. Hopefully be around the 30 to 40 minute mark. Anybody got any questions before we get started? All right, let me get the screen shared here. Okay. All right, just some things that we're going to discuss. As you guys know, with the office right now, we are currently down with my department, we are currently down to myself and one chapter management associate. So a lot of things are changing for this upcoming year. One being there will not be very much traveling at all from us. So any meetings that we do have with you guys will be through this format right here. Some chapters, they will get visits, but we'll determine those as the year goes on. So it's very important that during this discussion, we're going to show you the resources page so that you guys know where all the resources that we have are from. Some of the other topics that we're going to discuss tonight are, of course, the impact of the COVID-19. Spoke about the resource page. The Bayard Membership Experience, which is the new member education period. We have partnered with the JED Foundation to offer up you guys the Sigma Pi Lifeline, which we'll discuss a little bit more. I'll touch a little bit on the volunteer update. That's, just kind of give you an idea of the volunteer opportunities that are available to you when you do graduate. The kind of go over the membership numbers, where we're at, where we've been. Workshops, how we're going to be doing those for the upcoming year. Or just kind of touch on those with you. You can work with your PA on those workshops. The upcoming conferences is what I was speaking about, how we're going to be doing those. And then we're going to talk about properly reporting at the end of the day, so that make sure get reports in and that rosters and everything are updated correctly. Now, most of you guys, I'm sure, if you would go ahead and type it up in the chat box. Does everybody know what your campus is doing? Are you in person, online, hybrid classes at this time?
So UCM, the Gamma Gamma chapter, is in-person, mask required with social distance classrooms. So some teachers are splitting classes, like each day, half the class goes in and the other half of the class is online.
Okay. All right, good deal. Now also too, it'd be a good idea to always have a time to speak with your Greek life advisor or the equivalent if you don't have a Greek life advisor, to kind of keep track of how things are changing, because as we've seen throughout the past several months, they'll say one thing one week and the next week things will completely change. So always stay in touch with them to make sure that you know what the precautions are. Does anybody know what the precautions are on your campus? Do you have to wear a mask? Are they limiting the gatherings? Do you all know what your quarantine procedures are?
I haven't heard anything from the university yet, but I know for Dane County, Wisconsin, we can only do groups of up to 10 inside and 25 outside.
Okay. Anybody else know what's going on? Don't be afraid to jump in, guys.
I know at MTSU, we are, right now it's still very up in the air, but I know we have very limited access to campus facilities, and a lot of the Greek organizations require the campus facilities, or at least in the past we have, for chapter meetings, for other functions. So right now it's kind of up in the air on how we're going to hold meetings, do initiations, etc.
Okay. So that's why it's very important to make sure you get in touch with your Greek life advisor so that you all know what the number of gathering, if you are even allowed to gather, what happens if you get sick. Does anybody know what happens if you get sick as far as how long you have to quarantine? Do you have to do contact tracing?
I have no idea if that's required at MTSU.
Okay. So yeah, just make sure that you get in touch with the school so that you know what the procedures are in case something like that does happen. I know, like, I was on a call this morning with Washington State, and they stated that if someone does get sick, quarantine for 2 weeks, make sure you get in touch with the school, let them know who all you've been in contact with so that, they can kind of trace the illness there. Also, too, another good thing is just making sure what resources are available to you from the school. And there's also several resources that we have on the website. Anybody got any questions on the impact of COVID at this time? Okay. As we talked about earlier, we do have an extensive resource page. Over the past year, we've been revamping our online resources so that, you guys have a site to go to get the information quickly. There's 11 different categories of resources and encompassing 115 plus resource links. And we're constantly adding new items to the resources. So for those who have not been to the Sigma Pi resource page, I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up here. Let me know if you can see this. Everybody see the resource page?
Yes.
Okay. So as you kind of see as I kind of scroll down through here, you got your general resources, where you got the Berkman method, your educational programs and resources. Any webinars or videos like this is where they'll be uploaded to. Let me pull that up here. So as you can see, the different videos and webinars that we've linked up here. The two most recent that we've done, in case y'all weren't able to get on there, were the certified recruiter training information. If you have not gotten into that yet, I highly advise utilizing this free resource. It'll help with your recruiting online. Has a bunch of different resources through Fired Up that will help you with your recruiting, and just different resources throughout the year that they'll be doing with you all. As you can see, you got the mental health Sigma Pi Lifeline. Then, of course, your reporting resources, which we'll kind of go over a little bit more here in a minute. Then your volunteers have theirs. And then here's some marketing resources for you all. If you need to know what brand resources we have available to you, the standards, logos, marketing tools. So as you can see, there are several different resources in here for you guys to utilize that, if you ever have a question about something, I would come here first, and more than likely you'll be able to find the answer that you're looking for. And then if not, don't ever hesitate to reach out to myself, to Russell, or to Nick, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have and help you find the information that you need. Anybody got any questions on the resources page? Okay. The reporting, just kind of show you where you come to do your reports. Just come to you go to the reporting page, and this is what it's going to look like. And what you want to do is just submit a report, and then this will tell you all the reports that you would have to submit. This is where you go to do your monthly officer reports, your statistics and records report, any type of member roster submission. If you have a change in member, if there's a member suspension, a resignation, expulsion, this is where you want to come to fill those out. And of course, if you have any type of incident, this is where you want to come to also to submit the incident report. And then you also have the anonymous policy violation report. And this is if, any member sees something going on at the chapter they don't feel is right, and they don't feel comfortable speaking up about it, they can always come to this page and report it, and nobody will know who they are. So make sure that all your members know about this page and know how to get to it and navigate it.
Scott, a question about the officer reporting.
Yes, sir.
Does the national office prefer do y'all prefer if we send the same report in like during these summer months when not much is going on, or even right now when nothing is going on? Or would you rather just not send a report in if it's going to be the same thing as last month?
You don't have to submit one during the summer, unless something happens or something comes up. Like you're talking about your monthly officer reports, right, Drew?
Yes.
Yeah, the monthly officer reports, just start those in August, start those next month and start submitting those. And one good thing too, to kind of go to build upon on your monthly officer reports, is that once reports are submitted, with the way we're revamping the SOE, is that the SOE will go ahead and automatically fill in, so that we don't have to go back and double check everything. So once you submit it, it automatically puts in your score and keeps track of it that way. So it'll be a lot easier to track your SOE moving forward, and there's not going to be as many items on there as there has been in the past.
Awesome. Thank you.
But as you can see all the different resources that you have on the resource page. And there's some that, not necessarily for you all. And as you can see right here, if you have any questions on the COVID-19, we have just a place just for COVID-19 for any questions that you might have, that you can find the answer right there also. Okay, the Sigma Pi Lifeline, that's something new that we developed after we partnered with the JED Foundation. In case you don't know about the JED Foundation, they are a leading nonprofit that help protect emotional health and prevent suicide. In partnering with them, they have what they call a U Lifeline. And so we were able to develop our own website with the form of Sigma Pi Lifeline. So that is actually on the resource page also under mental health. So if you ever need to go to that or make sure your members know where to find that, that is on the resource page under the mental health. What we're doing, we're just making sure that, we're taking care of our members, especially during times like right now with COVID-19, you guys being shut inside a lot, not being able to really get out or be able to be around other members of your organization, of your chapter. It's very, very important that you take care of your mental health and your well-being during this time. Okay, the Bayard membership experience. This is new this year, gentlemen. This is a online membership experience. It'll be in 3 phases. You have 3 weeks of the new member experience, where the new members will go online each week and they will do a kind of like the modules that you had to do for the tightrope. It'll be similar to that the new members will have to go through. Then after they complete the 3-week new membership, then they'll be neophyte for 3 weeks. And then at the end of that, they'll be an initiated member. Members will be expected to initiate at the end of that 6-week period. But there's also an accompanying guide that will go along with the Bayard membership experience, so that you can review sections for each course from the new member phase. It'll also give you recommendations for activities the chapter can include in the process. One activity, as you can see, will be highlighted each week for you guys to continue with the experience. And of course, facilitated discussions will also be explored each week. Now, of course, if you got any questions regarding the Bayard membership experience, Alex Pettigrew and Jacob Camilleri can answer those a little bit better than I can at this time. But we're continuing to build this out, and it will be ready to go by September the 1st, so that you'll have that available to the new members. And then here's one thing that you guys are going to enjoy, that you all do not have to go through the tightrope modules again. There'll be a different continuing education for your health and safety, but all new members do have to complete the tightrope module before they are able to be initiated into the chapter, into the organization. Now, for those who are getting ready to graduate, or for members who are getting ready to graduate, here's the volunteer update, the positions that are available. We have 2 positions as province archons that are available at this time. Chapter directors, we have about 9 positions that we have available at this time, where you work directly with the chapters, whereas the province archon, as you all know or aware, they work with multiple chapters. And then, of course, if you don't have an alumni advisory board at your chapter, once you graduate, it'd be a good time to get one started, or get one started now. Reach out to your alumni and to create those advisory boards to kind of help guide you guys through these times, or even during normal times. And just like with you guys, volunteers have to go through modules also to complete their training. As you can see, we got a little bit of work to do with some of those guys to get those completed. Now, as you can see, these are the membership numbers through the past few years. Currently, we stand at 4,030 actives. We got 862 outstanding new members. Of course, that is due to the COVID outbreak, where a lot of chapters were not able to initiate their new members. So as soon as you all can do that, go ahead and get that completed. Anybody got any questions on on initiation?
I know during the meeting last week with Frost, he mentioned a virtual initiation. Is that going to pan out or no?
That's still in discussions at this time. We're definitely working on it so that you guys can get them through. Hopefully we can get that pushed through, but it's the discussion that John's got to have with the board and with the ritual committee. Workshops, just make sure you reach out to your province archons, your chapter directors, see if they will be holding virtual workshops. Of course, they'll have access to Zoom and the Google Hangout platform, and go over health and safety review, and your attendance will be taken at those so that we know that you went through the workshops. Upcoming conferences. Right now, mid-year, they're looking at making it about 50% cheaper than the cost for previous conferences, because it will be a virtual event. That is still being discussed on how that will be. And if we do virtual, we're looking at expanding who can attend. As you can see, we're looking at extending it out to the entire EC, because we'll have more availability, and the cost will be cheaper for you all. You have any questions on mid-year at this time? Okay. All right. The proper reporting. This is very important on making sure that these get submitted on time. Of course, your monthly officer reports will be due by the 10th of every month, starting in August. Those are your SAGE, 3rd, and 4th counselors. Now, you don't have to wait until the 10th to get those completed. Anytime between the end of the month and the 10th, you can complete those and get those sent in. And again, that will help on the SOE, and that will be automatically uploaded into the SOE tracker. Roster updates are changing this year. Those are going to be due now by the 15th of September and January 15th. So that we're not having where, you submit the report, then you get an invoice, and then you all realize that, well, we had these 10 guys are not even in the chapter anymore. They graduated 2 years ago, or they graduated a year ago. So it's very important that you get these submitted by the 15th. You have to have them submitted by the 15th, and you do that, of course, through Omega Phi, so that we're not going back and changing up and having to adjust budgets, things like that. So that gives us a few days to make any adjustments that need to be made prior to the invoices coming out. Because once invoices come out, it's going to be very hard for us to adjust anybody off the roster at that point in time. So make sure you get the roster submitted. And then that way, if you have any questions, make sure you reach out to myself, Russell, or to Nick to make sure that you have the proper roster ready to go by October the 1st. Anybody got any questions on roster updates? Okay. Make sure tightrope completion, that your members are, that have not completed it yet, they get that completed, because it's very important that they get it done. If they just want to do one a day, I mean, you're looking at about 15 to 20 minutes a day to do one module. If they want to knock it out all in one try, you're talking about around approximately 2 hours to get through the tightrope completion. So let's make sure you got any guys that are still outstanding from the fall and the spring, that they get in and get that completed prior to school starting. Gentlemen, this one is very important. Let's make sure that officers are updated in Omega Phi correctly. We've run into a couple of instances where I've sent out emails and gotten responses back, guys that have graduated or are no longer the SAGE or one of the officers, because this is a way that we communicate with you gentlemen. This is where we get our information from, is from Omega Phi. So let's make sure that we have the right people in the right offices, and that is updated.
Hey, Scott, really quick, one more thing. With that too, guys, not only make sure that you're updating your executive council members, but make sure that you're updating like even your committee heads. So we have, Brotherhood chair, scholarship chair, everything like that, if possible, is on there that you guys can record. So make sure you're doing that. Make sure you're also putting your volunteers on there. If you have a chapter director, any kind of alumni advisory board, all that information is just very helpful for us.
Does anybody got any questions on how to do that? Okay. Your statistics and records report. This report is due by December 1st and May 1st. Again, you don't have to wait until that day to submit it. You can do it prior to. Again, this will help us in advising and consulting and training with you gentlemen and with the chapter. Also too, it helps with your SOE score. And it also helps us to develop our operations at the office by getting this information. So last year, I think we had maybe half of the chapters that submitted this report. So again, it's just important that, that you get this submitted, because again, it helps us with operations and training and advising with you guys. Emerald submission. Those are due by, you have 2 of them a year, due by October 10th and April the 10th. These, we like to know what's going on, guys. We just want to know what, what good things you guys are doing on your campus. So this way we can promote it. We can get it out there. Let the, all the alumni know, hey, this is what's going on around the country. All the good things that these young men are doing and the chapters are doing. So get those in for us each time. Your final SOE submissions we do by June the 1st. Again, helps with the final grading of the SOE. Also too, again, helps with advising our operations, where we can improve, things that we can help you guys with. So just make sure that you submit that by June the 1st. The last ones you don't really need to worry about, other than the volunteer evaluation. You can submit one by December 10th and May 10th, which that can be done by undergraduates, chapter and colony officers, CDs or PAs. The volunteer term report, that is to be done by the volunteers, so y'all don't have to worry about that. And then the Alumni House Corps annual certification, that is done by the Housing Corps or the Board of Directors. Does anybody have any questions at this time regarding proper reporting? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing this. All right. We'll look through the Zoom chat. Okay, in case y'all haven't seen, Alex put in the chat that, which I'm glad you did because I forgot about that. August 12th and 13th, there's going to be more in-depth training on the Bayard membership experience. So please, when you get that invitation, make sure you have somebody jumping on that, especially the new member educators would be the people that would try to get on. If they can't, I would find somebody that would be able, that works hand in hand with him to get on that call.
Would you say the date for that was?
August the 12th and 13th.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sure, I think he'll probably do like 4 p.m. on one day and 7 p.m. on the next day Central Time. But he'll be sending that out as we get a little closer to it. And like I said, he'll be able to answer the questions a little bit better than I can at this time regarding the Bayard membership experience. But I just want to make sure you all are aware that that is coming and that that you will be utilizing that this fall and moving forward. Do we have any other questions at this time regarding anything that we've gone over?
I'm all good.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, again, like I said, I didn't want to keep you here too long. If y'all don't have any more questions at this time, I appreciate your time being on here, taking the time to spend a little bit of time with us. Again, this will be uploaded to the website under resources. So if you need to go back and take a look at it, you can. And of course, again, if you have any questions or anything, again, don't hesitate to reach out to myself, Russell, Nick, and we'll get the answers to you. Right now, Nick is out of office for the next couple of weeks. So the best people to come to would be Russell and myself at this time. Again, so if there's no more questions at this time, again, guys, I appreciate your time today, and you guys have a great rest of the day, and just be looking for more resources popping up on the resource page.